we are kind of now locked in really for the game. We'll have a walkthrough for the game tomorrow. We haven't really practiced the plays for the game yet, but I'm sure we're on basic plays in the game. And then kind of walk through what the Vikings do tomorrow. We're not preparing for the Vikings. We aren't practicing at all against them except for tomorrow's walkthrough. That's how we do the preseason. But we just really want to see the guys play. We want to give them a chance to play free, play loose, and just play to their best game, and try to show and shine what they can do. So that's what we're doing. What questions you have?
Does that include Jackson?
That's such a great way to ask that question. It's awesome. So here's the thing. If I talk about one guy and say, well, how much he's going to play, then what's the next follow-up question going to be? It's going to be the next guy. Then the next guy. Then the next guy. So I plan on not talking about who's going to play. That's what I plan on doing. I just decided just to leave it out there. You'll see when the game comes. It'll make the speculation so much more fun, if you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
How do you value, though, those first-team players getting
I value first-team reps very much, and you have to measure that against the risk. So there is risk as well, and that's part of it too. And you have to make that decision. In the past 3 or 4 years, we didn't play hardly any starters. Before that, we would play a series or two, and we usually went even all 3 games. Way back when we had we kind of brought from Andy, was the way we worked it, and Andy had the most reps were like in the 3rd preseason game. Then the 4th preseason game, those guys only played 1 series. So there's a lot of formulas. People used a lot of different formulas. Our formula was pretty much to spread the reps out evenly through the 3 games for the guys that needed to play, and we have a plan for that right now by guy, and that's what we'll do.
Is there anybody who's rehabbing or injured other than Malik who definitely won't play it?
There are, I would say there's Jalen Hyatt will be ruled out as far as an injury. Some of the other injuries, would be guys that would probably be game time decisions or right up to it. So some of those guys that didn't practice today would probably be game time decisions. I'm probably forgetting somebody. If you want to ask about the injured guys, you could, but I might not answer.
Adebo.
Who?
Adebo.
Adebo would be one of those game time decision guys.
How much do you value these reps, though, or weigh the factor that it's a new offense, right, and that you are trying to install a new offense, and the quarterback hasn't done this against these plays against other competition and on the field? So how do you put that into the equation?
And that is the crux of what we have to consider, to your point. So that is a big part of it, executing a new offense, but also a young quarterback. You've got a young quarterback who's just in his 2nd year, who didn't play a whole season even last year. So he's just getting started, and we're going to be playing 2 of the best teams in our conference right out of the gates. And so we'd like to be ready for that. So that's part of the consideration. You balance that up against the injury considerations. And then you've got, if your quarterback's out there, then you've got other guys you might want to put out there to protect him. So believe me, that's all the things we're thinking about right now.
John, obviously you knew a lot about Colton Hood. You studied his film.
Who's that?
Colton Hood.
Colton Hood, yeah.
Right. But sometimes, I'm sure a lot of times you get to see a lot more out here in practice. So what are the things that you've seen from him out here that maybe hadn't shown up?
I would say like his attention to detail, but his ball skills. His ball skills showed up on tape. So that was when we've seen the ball skills. He's very sticky at the top of routes, maybe more sticky than I thought. But his attention to detail, to technique, and his determination to do everything right, almost too much. Like this guy, man, he's a perfectionist. He gets mad, if he doesn't do it exactly right. Which I kind of appreciate that kind of mindset.
You got us all intrigued today with Malik Nabers in a red jersey.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of
Well, we're trying out the red jerseys. Maybe we'll go to red jerseys one of these times. Malik was lobbying for the red jersey of the future, but that wasn't the reason. The reason was to make sure that nobody touched him. I don't know if you saw what happened to the wide receiver coach, Chad Hall, an individual. So we had a rule that everybody respects the red jersey for Malik, obviously, when he's out there. And an individual, Chad was the DB, and Malik was releasing off of Chad. And somehow they crossed signals in which way they're going, and Malik went to punch his way through, arm over, and he caught Chad right in the face split his lip open. He got stitches right out there on the field. Chad Hall took stitches on the field. He's a tough dude.
I know a lot will be made just the idea if he was on the field. We know that it was kind of a walk-through, jog-through, half speed, but
Not half
the
speed.
guys seemed like they...
Did it seem half speed to you?
Well, no, I'm saying with Malik. When you were out there with Malik, it definitely seemed like it was...
He was out there in the drill. Now maybe he went half speed because he's really, really fast. But okay,
The purpose
sorry.
of it, right? I mean, you're not... Nobody's going to be within...
It was a no physicality practice. It was a timing practice as much as possible with no physicality.
Do you sense, though, knowing who Malik is and what he means to his team and his teammates and how far he's come and how far he still has to go, that it was significant in a way? What was the significance for you?
No, I agree with that. I think that's right. You know, I feel like the players were excited when we talked about it in the meetings this morning. They were excited. They were giving him a hard time at practice. You know, but everybody was happy that he was out there because it's a big step. It's a big step to get into team drills. You know, so for him to do that was a milestone, I would say, for our team.